Oh my goodness. How long have you guys been here? Sorry about that. I was attending to my calling, which is cleaning bat shit. So, no, I'm just joking. I was just trying to see from the distance, is there any more there? The ones who don't know the story will refer to 361 or 362 live talk. And there we have Ashish, hello there. Antoine, how are you, dear? Randy, good to see you, possibly. Antoine, that what you have sent me, it must be coming with a mule because I've been checking every day and they say, it's not here. So I'm gonna think that the mule is taking the long road over the mountain, while there are no mountains between our borders, are there? So I'm on it. I'm checking every day. So now we have Jesse. Hello, Jesse. First up for bat. And Tim. Hello, Tim. Long time no see. Gavin. And Excalibur says, greetings to my brother from another Persian mother. Okay, thank you. Been a long time, lol. Hope you're doing fantastic. Dear, just enjoying my tea and ready to chill with the Jedi Master and everyone here. Good, thank you for being here, Excalibur. Delighted to see you back. Gavin says, I think Mehran is making his tea. I can hear it. Yes, I was. You caught me. Salut. Prost. Banzai. It's too hot. I can't have the fourth one. And Antoine says, hello, Mehran. Father, mentor, friend. How are you this blessed afternoon? Is it afternoon? Oh, it is afternoon. Always wishing you big time blessings. Antoine here, 52 May, Los Angeles. Thank you very much for kind words, Antoine. Always delighted to see you here, and thanks for joining us and supporting and contributing. Excalibur says, everyone please click like. The promotional manager has returned from the sabbatical. All right, good. But they can't click like because they don't know if they like it or not. The thing hasn't started yet. I was just having, chilling, having tea or making tea. Gavin says, Namaste, Mehran, male 26, Trump's place. Oh, please don't bring his name. It ruins the mood. It is not Trump's place, it's Americans' place. And they eventually will probably do the right thing, which is vote him out. Looks like sentiments in your country is becoming more and more to be active in the election and mostly hoping to vote him out and bring the country back to the standing that it had in different eras. Now, Excalibur says he's either making tea or chicken out on Aston Martin or a horse or a pretty lady or all three in the street from the window. Oh, listen. And Bobby Necro says 39 male UK. Could you talk about feeling left out and alone? Yes. Since my divorce, I'm still feeling like I don't fit in anywhere. Yes. I see other people who have close family or friends and feel like I lack it. Well, that's a natural feeling since you've been used to that image of you. And even if you did not notice that image on daily basis, but that the image you know yourself by. And now that you cannot in actuality see that image in function as it was before, you feel something has gone wrong. But in your eyes from inward, you can see that to be the difference between what it was and what it is. But no one from out there or nothing from out there has changed in any way, shape, or form. Opportunities, limitations, all the same. Only your mentality is focusing on a brand or a identification of the word lonely, because you've been conditioned to think if you are not in a certain venue and part of a group that you have been accustomed to, that means being lonely. Did you call yourself lonely before you got married and had children? No, you didn't, because there was no such conditioning to see yourself in a certain role and certain image. As you can see, as you know, we've discussed it, during the day we'll have different images. Depending on what we do, what we are engaged in, we abandon one image and take a different image to attend to that what it is that we are trying to deal with. For example, as you remember, if you're going to a shop, you're a shopper. If you're going on a bus, you're a passenger. If you're going to a classroom, you're a student. If you go to see your parents, you're a son or a daughter. And if you're working in a shop, you're a clerk. You drive the bus, you're a bus driver. Same person, constantly changing. You're teaching a class, you're a teacher. So these images that you take, but you switch to a different image when you change the functionality of whatever it is that you're involved in an hour from the previous image, you take a new image and do attend to that with that image. So when you were single, you had different images, and none of them were the image of having a wife and a child. But yet you didn't feel lonely. You didn't call it lonely. There was different circumstances that you would have maybe thought or felt lonely, but not because you didn't have a wife and children. But when you got married and have children, that image also became part of the inventory of the images that you had to use to negotiate your daily life. And you got used to that basic image. Now that it is not the way it used to be, you think your identification, your character is changed. That hasn't changed. You're still who you were, you're still a father, and you had a wife, and you are an ex-husband. So really, what has changed is only geographical, logistics, being in one place or different places. That image, that situation, that arrangement has changed. But you're still the father that you were. The grouping, organization of that group is changed. But none of it means you're lonely. You have the same interests, you're the same person, maybe the same job, still a father, your responsibilities are the same. But you would like to identify with the word lonely just somehow to express how you feel, your dissatisfaction of this new norm, new order. But that's another image you have created for yourself. I have an image of lonely. But you don't. These are all images. You can abandon that image of lonely as well as you abandon every other image when you finish with them, and immediately take another image. And then that problem is solved. You have dubbed yourself lonely, so you believe your thoughts and you think you're actually lonely, but you're not lonely. So everything is the same, environment the same, city the same, job the same, responsibilities the same. You're still a father, you still have your aspirations, things you want to do. So the wife is left. Okay, big deal. That happens to all of us. You can manage, you can go on, you can build again, and there's no shortage of women. And you are what age? 39, for God's sake. Come on now, we talked about this before. You're top of your game. You're the best time of your life. You're approaching the best time of your life. The best time and strongest part of a man's life is when he's like 45. That's just the top of the mountain. So you're way away from that, but you're getting close. So in other words, you're in top shape. Best time of your life. Experience, stability possibly, and know-how, and know what you want. Physically, you're probably strongest than ever. You should be. If you're not, go to the gym and get physically healthier, stronger, making sure it's to your level, not too much. Talk to your doctor if you have to before you do that. But take care of yourself. Nothing has changed. You still have the same duty as you always have, which is taking good care of yourself, of the gift that you have in this life. Gift of life. Protect that. Take care of it. Exercise. Eat well. Do your things. Sleep well. Become a stronger person in light of and despite of the challenge that you're receiving. We must all become stronger when we see a challenge of this kind or any kind. God willing, our health is okay or reasonably okay. And we focus on becoming stronger in light of challenges. That's why you won't, and that's how you won't feel being lonely. Because you're busy building. Rather than sitting and sulking, okay, this woman left me, so big deal. You were you before the woman came into your life. And you are you with the same responsibility and love you had for your son or daughter, whatever your child is. So, what's the problem? Opportunities out there, capabilities out there, willingness is out there, you want to be happy. Everything is there for you to be what you want to be, a happy man. Don't buy into the fact that with these circumstances and this story, I must dub myself lonely. No, who said that? That's a conditioning you've received. So be kind to yourself and be just. Nothing has changed in you, and think of yourself great, build your life, feel great, and go on. And when it's time, find another woman, and you will see if you both are compatible or not. And be kind to your ex-wife. Help her if she needs to, because you have a child with. But do not expect her to show you any kind of attention, because you don't need it. You disqualify her. You've been a good person. A woman who leaves a good person is disqualified. That's it. Wish her well, help her, but it's disqualified to be with you. Yeah? Otherwise, what's going on? Every hardship that comes up in life and a woman leaves and suddenly then she's the star. No, she is disqualified because it was tough times and she didn't stick it out, or she reacted differently, or whatever. She left. So you haven't been physically or emotionally abusive. There could have been differences, conflicts, and divisions. That's normal. But if they want to pack up and leave, then they're the one who disqualified, not you. And you shouldn't be expecting them to come back or wanting them to come back, because everybody is good when things are good. You will know who can tough it out when things are tough and they still stay together. So if they didn't, well, wish them well. Respect it. You guys loved each other at one time. There's no reason to feel bad about her. That's what she wanted to do. And if you really loved her, Give her that. Wish her well. And make sure that you help her if you can. And have a good relationship, but she will have her own personal life and you will have your own personal life. Find another lady. And you will. But first, you got to find yourself. And that is not among the lonely bunch. Find yourself among the balanced bunch. Meaning, bring balance to your life first with the way you live, your lifestyle. And then, lo and behold, it will not be difficult to attract women of good quality who want to get to know you. All right. Let's go on further to Excalibur says, that's right, Lola. The signature sentence being, who gives a shit? That's right. All right. Let's see. Who is here? And Achilles Antoine says, Lol, it's coming. Trust me. You're going to love it. I'm sure I'm going to love it, but I'm just going nuts. Last time I said, okay, I'm not going to drive up there again. I'm just going to call them. I called them and they said, let me check. And they said, no, it's not here yet. So, okay, thank you. But of course, I'll check Monday. I'm sure it's a combination of US Post and Canada Post. Well, hey, it's going to take time. And every good thing, it takes time. Remember Heinz ketchup advertisement? The kid was trying to get it on his French fries, and it would take time, and said every good thing takes time. So I'm willing to wait the wait. He says, it's a perfect gift for you, and I had the most pleasure painting it. Oh, I can't wait. I just want to say I have the most pleasure looking forward to hearing you. Oh, my goodness. Thank you very much for kind words, Antoine. It's always a pleasure having good energy people joining us. There's 17 of us here, and we'll soon be cranking up with answer to new questions. But until then, let me just say the greetings. And Jesse says, haha, exactly. Oh, I guess that's to Excalibur's my famous quote, I guess. Gavin says, oh, sorry, Mehran, I was joking. We hate Trump. Okay. We just had 20 people died, yes. And the idiot is going around talking about himself. I've been watching, following the news, and every channel is saying how pathetic his behavior is, and not becoming of a president of the United States. And so that is the opinion of most channels that I have visited, and it's unfortunate. And he says, we just had 20 people died last week because of racism. It's all he's doing, spreading hate. Your political members and candidates and in news media and so on have commented on that. And Sid says, aloha, General. Aloha, Sid. And says, male 31, Estonia, no one is following the code. Yeah, I know, no one does. It's like a small group, but Antoine did, and you have, and Bobby Necro did. Some have, some don't. Gavin, although Gavin has, see, male 26, yeah, only just messed up at the end of it. And okay, let's go on to say hello to everyone. Dawn says, hello, lovely Mehran. Hello, lovely Dawn. Says, hope you're well. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Yes, you haven't heard the news of the batshit cleaning. I mean, that's, your job of painting the house seems much more appetizing than what I had to do here. So, but anyhow, I'm monitoring, and it looks like there are a few other drops of the bat, and I think the bat is between the mortars of the high-rise, And the people who came and took a look at it, they should have figured it out. And I think if I just put a flashlight at night through that crack, it should do it. They should just fly away, I think. And I won't have to clean that batshit. You know, you always hear that he gone batshit, but you never thought, I gotta clean batshit. So there we go. Anyhow, let's go on. I don't have anything more to say about that other than nice of you to join us, Don. And Excalibur says, glad to see all the familiar faces around for sure. And Excalibur says, Mehran, could you say a few words about social anxiety, fear of judgment, etc., rooted in negative childhood social experiences, especially in school with the bullying and such? Yes. I have a chapter on my book, both books, Me, My Psyche and I, and Transient Thoughts and Me, about bullying. And I find that so weak. The bullies actually are the weakest people in the world. No normal person, no strong person, no balanced person of good caliber would ever feel the need to try to bully somebody else for any reason whatsoever, unless they are themselves of lowest quality and they have no capabilities to pull themselves up by their accomplishments because they have no talents whatsoever. So what they do, they try to see if they can find someone that is nice, good, and seems to have attention of others, or if they're children, they will see if they have attention of their parents and they're being served and they're being respected and loved. Then they say, okay, that's a valuable person. Let me see if I can bully him or chisel it, try to make that person feel belittled. So maybe I, as a result, become better than what I can be, more than what I can be, because on my own, I don't know how, if I'm worth anything to add anything to it. And I don't have anything to add to it. I'm incapable. So the bullies are actually the people who are most incapable, losers, and of low caliber, subhumans. And these people belong to an island to be on their own. So to learn a lesson. That's basically it. But you must understand that if you were bullied, or whoever has been bullied, that was the time, at the time that you were at certain age and the bullies were at certain age, you were at a certain mentality and certain belief and upbringing, and you were strong, you were confident, you had no need for bullying anybody or become a bad character. But those idiots were of no good quality, and that was their way of trying to feel that they're alive and they're worth anything, which was, of course, didn't go anywhere. But that was all the childhood. No longer is a childhood. That experience died at that moment, at that age. Now it's a different story. The same people who were bullied, they probably shit in their pants, they come near you. Because they have understood now, they became older, and if they had any sense in their heads, they can see that, oh, that doesn't add anything to them, and they actually are not in the same position, whether, because the law will come after them, whether their size is no longer an issue, and their manners is not tolerated, because in the adult world, that's going to be treated differently. It's not like the child's world that the child may not say anything, or couldn't say anything, or couldn't do anything. When the same child is older and bigger and has got the law behind him and has got his physical might behind him, then nobody would dare. The same bullies that they did the same thing, they would be afraid to now. So focus on the fact that those bullies are not still same people. They're afraid of you now if they come into contact with you. They have understood that they have no power. They were stupid and child. They thought they were more powerful because maybe they were bigger, or they had a mouth. There were a bunch of them maybe. But now they have learned that the law and the system doesn't give a damn about it. They have no right, they have no power, regardless of their size or regardless of how many they are. So that, and the fact that you have changed, puts fear into their hearts, and they will never be able to affect you in the same way. So those social anxieties, or those social experiences, or those bullying experiences would have no effect on you now, because they are an illusion, they are dead, non-existence, and they were at one point, sometime that time doesn't exist anymore, were an actuality and experience. But no longer, neither you're that little kid, nor they have not understood that this is not going to be entertained. And at this point, you're a different person, different time, different powers, whole environment is different. There is no threat to you. That incident is dead. They have no powers, and in fact, they are weaker than they've ever been, even weaker now, because they have to live with that behavior that they did forever, knowing that they were weak. They were the ones who were weak then. Now that they're grown up, they know that. Even if they were dumb enough not to know it when they were a child, because of fear and being inferior, they were resorting to that behavior. But now they know that they did that, and that means they're still inferior, and they have to live with that behavior, which makes them feel a loser all the time because of that behavior. So whoever is bullying anybody at school today, they should remember that they will feel loser forever, rest of their life, because one day they will find out it was them who were behaving so weakly. Now, about the fear of judgment at this age, come on now. Judged by who? If you find someone who is got no need that you have, doesn't need to breathe, doesn't need to drink, doesn't need to eat, doesn't need this stuff, doesn't need shelter, doesn't need clothing, doesn't get cold, doesn't get too warm, doesn't need to drink water. If you find someone who has those qualities, well, I guess you might want to measure up to that kind of independence and power, and you might feel maybe not as advanced as their system is, yeah? But I don't believe there is such a entity, animal or human, of any kind. Which means, if you look at it, they're all the same. The people that you're worried about their judgment, they are the same, if not less, and with the same handicaps, with the same shortcomings, with the same problems and challenges as you have. So what the heck do you care what their judgment is? Judgment of who? Another person who's exactly like you, with the same problems and challenges? So what do you care what they judge about you? Who the hell are they? What have they accomplished in their life? Are they any different than you? No, they have the same needs. Eat, sleep, drink water, shelter, safety, security, money. So what is it that you're worried about their judgment? Judgment of who? Another person? What about you judging them? It's the same, isn't it? So why are you worried about it? So that's about a judgment. So nobody's judgment worth anything as long as you're simply abiding by the norm of a society, being kind to as much as you can, reasonably, not going out of your way for no reason. So, who cares who judges you or doesn't? Who are they? What is their life about? The fact is that you think others don't share the problems that you have in life. You think others are above it all. No, you only see others in a snapshot of their life, all doed up and smiley face. And behind that smile, just about half an hour ago, they probably didn't know if they can leave their home or not because they had gas in their tummy, or they didn't know if they should go to bathroom, or they don't, or they had some kind of anxiety. But now they're smiling, and you buy into that. That is their life. That snapshot of their moment that you saw them with their clothing or with their how spiffy they look, or the smile, and they feel like they have no care in the world. You think that's their life is? No, that's only exactly that few minutes, because they got to go back to the same shit that you have in your mind, fears, anxieties, worries, and things. But they have to pretend that everything is good in order to feel strong. But in reality, they're like everyone else. So what do you care about their judgment of someone who's got nothing over you? I don't care if they've got more money or not. Who gives a shit? They're still the same human being, the same needs and the same shortcomings. So if you focus on the actuality of who they are rather than the snapshot of what they're presenting, like a billboard, take that away, they'll be like this the rest of the time, or like the rest of us, going up and down. If you focus on that, then they'll see the truth of who they are, and you will see they're just regular human beings, and their judgments really worth nothing. My judgment is important about me, and I should be conscientious and do the right thing regardless of how others want to see it. Now, let's go to Azura. Azura says, I subscribed to you months ago when I broke up with my first girlfriend. I was really young, and I don't know how to handle it. I didn't know how to handle it. I have never subscribed and always see your videos in my sub box every day. Thank you for being this outlet for people. You're an awesome person for being so positive. I say months, but it's more like years. Honestly, keep up this work. It does more than you imagine for your viewers. Well, I'm delighted to hear that, and glad that it has been helpful to you, and delighted that you have joined and subscribed. And hopefully everyone has subscribed and clicks on the bell to get notified with live streams and the videos that I upload almost every day. And thank you again for the kind words, Azura. And if you wouldn't mind, let me know your age and gender, age, and where you're tuning in from, so I have a kind of an idea what area of the world, what part of the world, and what demographics. I'd be grateful. Thank you. Tim says, what's going on with something during the day? What's going on when something during the day you switch with thoughts, imagine things, future yourself positive, happy, optimistic, grateful to be opposite, and again all the time? Tim, thank you very much. You totally confused the hell out of me, and I didn't understand the question. Let me read your other one. And and he says, what happened? I lost you. He says, instead of simply getting up with the ass, getting up with the ass, do you get up with your ass? I mean, I can imagine that. That's really funny. Like, I usually get up with my head coming up first, but you getting up with your ass, that's an acrobatic event. You got to go and, explore that in circus, and, you might be able to actually, it's a special gymnastic. I mean, getting up, That's beyond me. And taking action and getting things done. What to do? Think about it. Well, first I got to think about what the hell your question was. Let me read it again. What's going on when something during the day you switch with thoughts, imagine things, future yourself from positive, happy, optimistic, grateful to the opposite again and again and again. Okay. Instead of simply getting up with your and taking action and you can always get up, you can get up with your hands or with your legs and whatever, but you still have to deal with the day, haven't you? Okay, I kind of understand what you say. You say, what is it that we have all these different thoughts during the day? A moment we are positive, a moment we are happy, and the next moment we are sad. Well, look, we are dynamic, and the brain cells are constantly creating. They're creating pulses, and these pulses create a certain kind of a generation of thoughts from your consciousness. And there's so many stuff in your consciousness that you have personally experienced, some stuff that you have seen in movies, some stuff you've read in books, some stuff is stories and imaginative. All of that are available, and there's constantly, it's like shooting gallery. You're just seeing them all, and you taking inventory of what's available for whatever you might be needing. A train of thoughts, figuring things out, calculations, facts, information, and these are all available. And sometimes you get affected by having noticed something in the inventory of knowledge, field of the known, that affects you to hopefulness and brings some kind of an idea that you have and you're about to accomplish and you want to do it, brings you hope. And the other second, you may be thinking about your bills or something that is always there in the background, is working to make sure that you attend to everything that you're supposed to attend, and that puts you down. And sometimes you think about the possibility of, I don't know, some great project or someone that you're hoping to meet or you're about to meet, and brings you elation. And then maybe you remember about, I don't know, an opportunity you lost, or a job thing, or an investment problem, or maybe a breakup in the past, and that gives you a feeling, because thoughts are responsible for how you feel. You will not feel anything if you have no thoughts, unless it's physical interaction. Then that's a different feeling. But when you think, you therefore react to that thinking. A certain chemical is created, and certain emotion is created, and you have a certain reaction. And because of these thoughts are always available, you can jump from this thought to that thought, and everyone brings you a certain kind of a emotion. But that is not a problem. The problem is you choosing the one that you want and ignoring the one you don't. You don't have to sit there when the thought brings negative emotions, hopelessness. You can just switchly quick to different thoughts that you are capable of shooting for it. There's another thought that makes me happy. Let me just go right there, connect with that. Your synaptic neurons, or however it is working, that you just connect with that thought, you focus on and pay attention to that thought. Therefore, that gives you a different feeling and brings you back up to where it is. So you can't be a victim thinking that you have no saying in that, and you can be simply go through all kind of emotions without your saying. You can change that emotion, because you can change the thought. When you change your thought, the emotion changes. So if a thought comes to your mind that brings you down, switch it to something that brings you up, and change that thought and change your emotions. So you will be in control of selecting and staying with the thought that has appeared in your head. And often these are called transient thoughts, which really you didn't invite them. They just happen to be there, because some of them are there just the way I explained, and because you have the capability of noticing all these inventory of thoughts, and some of them are there because the mind has the a job of protecting you and bringing things in your mind so you will be on schedule doing the things that you want to do. Therefore, they're running the background of the things that happened recently or the things that you might want to access, the things that you should be doing, which triggers something that happened in the past based on what it is that you want to be doing. The thing that you want to go shop today, maybe that triggers something that you have a memory of in the past that wasn't pleasant, and they're all connected. But your job is to simply see this as you're the navigator and you're the director. You will choose to stay away from that trigger, with that interpretation, and then move to something that keeps you and gives you the balance that you're looking for. So it's like you're swimming in the ocean. It's all kinds of things available, but you decide which way you go, which way you don't go. It's all connected, but you maneuver the way that works best for you, gives you the most pleasure of swimming and experience in that outing, in that ocean. Hope that long explanation would do some justice to your question. And Floyd Sanders says, how do you stop having visual images of the sexual affair? The sexual affair. Okay, sexual affair of who? Yours? That wouldn't be bad, I guess, if that's your fantasy. But are you talking about your girlfriend? First of all, again, please give me the protocol. I don't know your gender. I don't know your age. I don't know where you're tuning in from. These are the... So I'll go to the next one until I get those, and I'll come back to you. TM34 male check says, hi, Grandmaster. Dating this girl I met recently, but she's always busy. Texts are great, but to talk, we have to make an appointment. We are both lawyers, and I can make time, so feeling like maybe I'm more interested. It's usually the case at the beginning. One is more interested than the other. But if you wish to be a little bit more successful in your approach, you can turn it around. Look, if you have a friend, it's about 100 meters apart from you. You just saw him or her on the street. Or it's your girlfriend, or it's your child, or just a friend. Just about 50 meters away from you, you saw each other, and you shake hands, or just kind of say hello that way. Now, if you walk fast toward her or toward that friend, what do you think will happen? The faster you're walking, the slower the other one will walk, because it doesn't seem to feel there is a necessity for him or her to also walk fast toward you, because it says, it makes me feel good. Everybody wants to be more and be in control, and when they see somebody is walking fast towards them, they kind of slowly walk to give that this personality of, you need me, and I'm very needed. And since they've scored that point and you're just giving it to them, they say, I'll take it because I want to feel more. And he's put himself into that position of offering me that interest and coming towards me. So why should I go fast? I'll just walk slowly. Or maybe I'll just stand until he arrives. He's coming anyhow, so why should I? Now, same thing happens when you are constantly texting and showing interest. She'll be texting less because she wants to be on the top end, that I'm the better one here. I'm the better deal. And you're not good enough because you really want me. And I really don't think I'm that much, because now that you really text me so much, and I think that you're not that much because you want someone like me. You know, the old saying of, I don't want to belong to a club that takes me as a member. so she says, well, you like her so much, so you might not be much because she doesn't think much about herself. But having said that, the fact that you constantly text her or show interest makes her feel like, why should I show interest? He's doing it. Everybody wants to use the other, so it says, let him do stuff for me. So let me set the premise as the fact that you should be sucking up to me, you should be approaching me, you should be, that's childish game, but so you can turn it around. You can simply stop texting. Just don't text. Just don't. You won't die. You'll be fine. Just get busy. Don't give a damn what she's doing, she's not doing. Another biological entity, she has to do her thing. She's not a god. So really what you're paying attention to is you're paying attention to your own desire for pleasure. You're not paying attention to her. You're paying attention to the pleasure you will receive when she reciprocates, or when you're with her, or when you are in a relationship with her, or you're in contact with her. So really what you're doing it is to pleasure yourself. So it's not really a speciality of her that makes you to text her. Is your interest to feel pleasure, which causes you to text some entity through which you get that pleasure. So it's the pleasure that you want. So it is your desire that you're really pursuing. You're texting to your desire, in other words. So if you really look at it that way, you see that it is you that gives her importance. It is your texts that convinces you that she is worthy, she's really important. If you don't text her, she's not important. If you just don't text her for a few days, she'll text you back because she loves the attention. Now she feels, what happened to my attention? What happened to my worth? He was the measurement, he was the gauge for my feeling good. He was making me feel good, she says. But he's not texting me. I like that. So she's gonna throw you a bone. But not much, because she still wants to be in the same place of power that she was before. So she's gonna throw you a bone, and you will get it. Oh, then you'll start texting 5 more times. Then she says, I got him. So what you need when she texts you back, you don't answer the text for the next few hours. And then say, oh, sorry, I was very busy. It was a busy day. Hope you're doing well. That's it. No more. And don't text her for another day or so. Until she texts you back. Oh, really? How was it? Oh, say, well, maybe some other time. I'll let you know. All right, I gotta go now. Or I gotta go attend to something. To something, not what. That would be the way to balance things out. And she will get the idea that, listen, if you want this guy, you gotta reciprocate. If you don't, he doesn't give a shit. He's busy. And she will feel that she will miss out if she doesn't do something. And if she didn't, that means she's not interested, and you shouldn't be interested in someone who's not interested and behaves this way. That's the idea. And then if you can understand that, you'll be fine. Otherwise, if you just keep going after someone who doesn't pay enough attention and doesn't reciprocate properly, then you're just not treating yourself well. Okay. I hope that was something helpful to you. Okay, can I have a sip of tea, guys? Because wonderful cold chamomile tea. It's excellent. You should try it sometime. Alrighty then. Now, let's see what we have here. Alright. So we don't have a response from Floyd. So we go on to Dawn. Dawn says, you have a pet bat. Please. How sweet. Oh God, no. I've read so much about them. I mean, I read enough to know that they're not healthy to be around. They can carry diseases. And their poo is can get mixed up with in the roost and mixed up with the dust and all that, and create a certain fungal that is not good for respiratory health. So of course it has to be in the earth for 2 years before they create that kind of a fungus. And my balcony is concrete anyhow, but still, I don't want to deal with these sort of things. And Floyd says, greetings again. What is an acceptable amount of information to know the cheating spouse is past the affair? Cheater phones, emails, etc. What would closure look like to attempt reconciliate? Oh. Huh. I just I can't imagine you ever get over that. If you guys were together, married, and she went on a slip with someone else, that should be the end of it. There is no justification. I mean, people are free to do whatever they want, but they got a divorce first, break up first, and they go do whatever the hell they want to do. Not if you're in committed relationship or married and you're going to sleep with someone else. That is not a good start, or whatever stage you may be. So I don't know. Again, Floyd, I don't know anything about your background. I don't know about your age. I don't know about her age. So it is not one way or the other. It's not a formula. I don't know the circumstance. I don't know really what happened. If there is, I mean, I don't think there is any justification whatsoever. Even if you guys were not on good terms, still, break up, divorce, then go do whatever the shit it is that you want to do. It breaks the trust. What else is there if there's no trust? And what are you doing? You're trying to prove to the other one that you can't trust me? So I'm not going to break up with you. I'm not going to divorce you, but I'm going to sleep with someone else. I have no answer, Floyd, unless I have more info. Sue Yamel says, Mehran, hi. I'm sitting with my friend who needs your help. We are listening. Ah, okay. I have an audience. So, number one rule, Mr. Miyagi says, click on the subscriber. So and on the like. Looks like this. Sue says from Mehran, that's her name. How do you really move? Sue, what happened to the protocol? Give me the protocol for you and for her. Gender, age, where you're tuning in from. So please do that. So I have some kind of a background about her, and then I go on the question. And while I read the question, you can put that down there and I'll go check it. So Sue says, from Mehran, and that's the friend's name, I guess. How do you really move on from someone you love? A female asking. Yes, that female needs to give me info. Throw me the bone. Give me the info. Age. And where you tuning in from. There we go. Mara is female, age is 30, from Los Angeles. Los Angeles. And I know, I remember you, since I was your client several years. Yes, I remember you very well. You were in real estate, I believe. Am I correct? Say I'm correct. So I won't think I'm too old. And a connection with Jordan. Am I correct? There you go. Now, nobody can call me old yet. I remember like an elephant. So, all right, Sue. And I remember you talked about a friend of yours need help, and that was a few years ago. There's such a delay fuse in your deliveries, but better than not delivering. Finally, you have delivered. There is your friend. All right, let's go back to Sue. So, Mehran is 30 years old from Los Angeles. Mehran asks, how do you really, what do you mean? There's a joke too. How do you really move on? What does this really mean? How do you move on from someone you love? You always move on from someone you love. You don't move on from someone you don't love. You always simply move. There's no special effort for someone that you don't care about. You just move. But so the idea is that you were in a relationship, you have broken up, and it seems to me I might be mistaken, you have chosen to break up, or is it that he left you? That's also something I need to know. Who initiated? Sue, the moderator. Aha. Sue says, just now we received more information from this news. Hang on. Says, Sue says, Mehran has been with this guy on and off for 4 years, since he 26-year-old. He says he loves her, but they are not compatible. Really? Then how can you love someone who's not compatible? What do you love about her? Then you're just using her for sex. Because you can't say you love someone if you're not compatible. What is it that you love then? You don't love her, you love what she does for you. Or could be whatever. The way you feel for pleasure. Feeling and receiving pleasure from someone that is not good enough or in the same category of, okay, because I receive pleasure there, so I love her. If that's what you think, that's never been love. And he says he loves her, but they're not compatible for marriage. Ah, really now? Okay. So she's good enough to sleep with you. She's good enough that you say, I have a girlfriend, but not submissive enough so you can have every goddamn thing that you want to do without any question and to feel like you're the man. And she's nobody, but she's just there to warm your bed. So she's not good for marriage. If that's your idea for marriage, that means the man is not really a man. He's borderline narcissistic. He wants someone, but he wants that someone not to be someone, just to be. Not to have character, not to have sayings, just to be there for him. That's a one-sided relationship. I'm not sure if I'm right, but I just throw it out there because of what I'm reading here. Says, argued a lot, but she can't seem to find anyone who compares to him and can't move on. Oh, come on now. What is the end game for you when you meet a man? Usually, unannounced end game for a relationship is a committed relationship. It comes in different forms. Some people still get married, some people just get committed and they live together, and it is no different than being married. The intention is what bonds. But it's getting to know someone as a friend, maybe, and romantic friend, and get to know more and become boyfriend, girlfriend, and then moving on. Everything in this life is dynamic, advances, right? Things don't remain the same. Nothing remains the same. And everything is in movement. And the movement is that brings advancement. And we all want advancement. We want to be more. This idea of wanting to be more makes us move. Even in relationship, we want the relationship to become, to move, advance. Therefore, we, through the advancement of relationship, stage of relationship, we become more. That's how we are conditioned to. It is important to us. Becoming more and advancing a relationship goes hand in hand in that context. So, where is it going? It's supposed to go to a committed relationship. The guy, after 4 years, is telling you no committed relationship the way you expected. So, what is it that keeps you wanting the relationship that is not going to go to the height of the advancement that every man or woman, everybody expect that to be the end game of a relationship? So you are saying to me that you can't move on because you want to accept your relationship with this guy not to have the highest end game that is possible. In other words, you feel you're less than what you should be because you're going to be okay with not having the kind of relationship that you had in mind to end up being. Is that what you're telling me? Are you going to be okay with the fact that your relationship with this guy won't go to where it maximum can go? Because that's what you're telling me. Because you're saying to me, despite the fact that the guy says, I'm not willing to take this relationship to where the highest degree of a relationship is to make you and me both more as we intended this relationship to be. But you say, even so, I want to be with him. If there is no end game, it's not going to go where you want it to go. Why do you want to go on with it? Why can't you move on away from it? It's like saying, I've gotten a taxi, and the taxi says, where do you want to go, ma'am? You say, I want to go to such and such a street, number 5225 building. And you're at block 1. And the taxi drives you to 3000 block and says, I don't want to go any further. And you say, oh, I can't move on from this taxi. I can't get off and get on the other taxi that can take me to 5525, the building that is my destination. Why? Because it's such a clean taxi. And it was good ride. Yeah, but it doesn't want to go any further. Your destination is 5000 block. So what are you going to do? Are you telling me that you're okay not to move on because it was a nice taxi? And despite the fact that it doesn't want to go any further, and your destination is not in the middle of nowhere, and you're in no man's land, are you going to be okay with it? So what motivation more than this you want to know that this taxi is not going to go where you want to go? Is that not enough motivation for you to get off the taxi and move on? Despite of how much you appreciate the service of the taxi and how clean and good service and good manner the driver was. It's not going where you want to go. You're stranded. Who's the most important person in your life? The taxi or you? In your opinion, you, right? In opinion, a taxi is taxi. That's why taxis, I don't want to go. I don't care where you're going to go. I don't want to go. You should exercise your right and understanding of your importance. You're the most important person in this life for you, which means get off the bloody taxi. and say, okay, I respect your opinion. Good for you. Enjoy it. Stay here. Rot. I go. I either walk or call another taxi to eventually get to 5,525 block. So the idea that you say, what really motivates me, it's already there. You have your motivation. You just don't want to treat yourself as the most important person in the world to you, which you are. Because whatever you're doing is for you, right? Is that staying there in this relationship who doesn't take you to 5,525, your destination, is that doing your best for the most important person in the world? No. So you're betraying yourself. Simply get your bag out of the taxi and move on, because you already heard it. Is not going to where you want to go, and you deserve to go where you want to go, because that's the end game of every relationship. And if it's not going, well, what's there to hang around for? Hope that helps you, Mehran, and you understand where I'm coming from. Canada, of course. Let me have a sip of tea. If you haven't subscribed, guys, please subscribe. I've got over 1,500 videos on this channel. Anything you can think of after your breakup, almost anything you can think of after your breakup comes to your mind, there's a video on it. Go on my search engine channel search engine, and type in how you feel, the words, that they're bound to be a video or two on it. And of course, you can go to my site, Mind That Seeks Truth, mindthatseekstruth.com. And if you want to talk to me further on Skype, you can click on Talk to Mehran via Skype, make an appointment, and for a half an hour, I'll give you 1 hour, and for 1 hour appointment, I'll give you 2 hours. It'll be plenty enough to start us or complete what concern you, exploring it together. There are other packages available, other supports. Please go on my site, mindthatseekstruth.com, and explore it, see what's there for you, so it can help you get out of this rot that you might be sitting and sulking and thinking that you're a victim and you have no saying in this, where everything is under your control, as long as you can see and become the mechanic of your own machine by knowing how your engine is put together and how the electrical wiring and how everything else is connected to each other and affects every part of this vehicle, you, the machine. So learn about your psyche, learn about thoughts and consciousness. What is your consciousness? How is it put together? What about the role of the thoughts in it? What is the relationship between the two? What about fear? What is fear? Where does it come from? What about desire and pleasure? What is the steps, prerequisite steps for desire to be shaping? How you can stop your desire? These are important. I have a video called Desire and How to Stop It. Watch that one. That will help you to understand what you should do. And the reason that most of you still want the ex is not because the ex was so wonderful or is aligned with your plans and is about to take you to 5,525 block. Is because you have all the triggers that necessary as prerequisite for desire to be born in your memory. So when there is a file, when there is a memory about something lovey-dovey, something pleasant about your previous relationship, all the other files which holds the prerequisite steps necessary for desire to be born comes along with it, and you feel like you just completed all those prerequisite steps as well, and then you desire the person again. Which, if you remember, these are all imprints and not actuality of the prerequisite steps being fulfilled again, then you will not allow the desire to take shape and to make you feel like you miss that person, or you desire, or you want that person. You will be dealing with actuality, and you will be seeing the person as he is today, the actuality of the person, not the perception you have of the person, which at one time it seemed like you guys will be together in a solid relationship or a marriage or a committed relationship, and you simply see this guy, but you remember his behavior and mentality as what it used to be, which makes you feel this person that you're looking at is actually behaving as he used to do, or think as he used to, or there's a hope that he will change. None of that. See the person for what he is today, not how he used to be. So see if this person with this mentality, with this behavior and approach still is aligned with your plans that you hope to accomplish with being in a relationship with someone. If it does, good. If it doesn't, that means that you're seeing the person for who he is right now, not who he used to be. And still with that hope of who he used to be, you're hanging around. If you clearly see that, then you see this person is no longer sharing the same views that we did. Therefore, no longer for me to sit in the taxi. I get out and I walk or call another taxi to 5,525 block. Hope that will help you, Mehran. And I go on to Floyd says, Floyd, goddammit, you haven't even given me that information I wanted. What happened? Gender, age, where you come from? Okay, I'm putting my foot down. I need that info before I get back to your question. Excalibur says, all right. Gavin says, Mehran, I get distracted easily and stay focused for like days, but then go back to same thing. What you have to say about dealing with distractions? Distraction is an attention. There is no distraction. You're paying attention to this. Then you say, I'm distracted. How are you distracted? How do you know that you're distracted? Because you're paying attention to what you think is distracting you. So that's not a distraction, it's now attention. Which means, which one do you choose to pay attention to? It is not like you have no saying in the direction of your attention. The fact that you're noticing the distraction and staying there, that's attention. So noticing distraction is normal. We are bombarded with all kinds of things happening. Picture this, telephone, whatever, or wind blows, or sound of creatures in the, I don't know, sounds in the building, or thoughts coming to your mind, stories in the past, what you want to accomplish tomorrow, somebody you saw in a discussion you had, they all come to your mind. That's part of being alive. We're not living in a mental vacuum. It's part of being alive. It's like a TV set. You're sitting and all these channels, all these stations are sending programs. Your TV has the ability to receive all these. And it's all coming as distraction. But you choose to direct your focus on one. Remote control, click on a certain channel and you keep it there. While if you keep going, there are all other channels available, but you keep your attention to it. You choose one channel. Even if all these channels were on one big screen in small boxes and all these channels there, you have the ability to focus on one program that you choose among all these distractions. But because these you're not paying attention to is called alternatives. But once you pay attention to distraction, then it's not a distraction, is the one that you're paying attention to. Which means it comes to your choices. You are the boss of you. You choose which one of these, because they're all distractions. Even the one that you're focusing on is a distraction compared to something else that you pay attention to. In other words, this what you're paying attention to is a distraction for the distraction. Because as soon as you pay attention to that, what was called distraction, then this is distracting you from paying attention to that. So Everything is a distraction and everything can be an attention. Depends on which one you set your remote control, which one you focus your attention to among all the other availabilities and events that are happening, and you train your mind to be able to do that. How you train it? By constantly staying on that what you want to pay attention to and accomplish at that moment. And your mind gets trained, and to the point that it will be easier for it to be paying fully attention to what it is that you choose. And the other things that come to your mind cause transient thoughts. And you simply acknowledge them. Don't push them away. Acknowledge them. Yeah, I see it, but I don't give a shit because I want to do this. And I will do this now, then I'll pay attention with you, whatever it is that you want to distract me or disturb me. Then you choose. You set the parameter. You set the rules. And then your mind will listen. Say, okay, I'll bugger off. I'll let you do what you do because you said so. You're the boss. Remember, transient thoughts are thoughts. They're not invited. Therefore, they don't deserve your attention. Therefore, you recognize them and say, okay, I know it's a piece of shit, garbage. I don't want to pay attention to you. I know this story. I've gone to the end of it. I know where it ends. Therefore, I've dealt with that distraction. I want to pay attention to this attention. Now, for that, you may want to go to Transient Thoughts and Me, the book that I have written. It's available on my site on ebook. I think, I don't know, $5-6. And I think that would give you some good insights about how to deal with them. So, if you guys don't mind, on Facebook, hello Brenda and Randy. And Brenda, I'm going to shut down the Facebook streaming because it says the battery is finishing. I guess after 1 hour and a half it doesn't work anymore. So I'm going to end this, and if you wouldn't mind, if you'd like to join us on YouTube, that would be great. Otherwise, I don't want it to be cut off and then you guys feel like, oh, it just disconnected. Okay, hopefully I see you guys there. Talk to you later. All right, guys. So now, I hope, let's see if I have any feedback on the people that have answered the question. All right. Okay. Gavin says, Mehran, I get distracted. Okay, we got that one. Chris says, afternoon, my name is Chris, 39-year-old. I live in Dauphin Island. AL, is that Albania or Algeria? Or where is it? I'm blank today for that. Let me search it. All right, Dauphin Island. Ah, I was right. Oh, Alabama, not Albania. Dauphin Island is a town in Alabama, the Gulf of Coast island of the same name. All right, okay, Alabama. Alabama it is. And Chris, thank you for joining us. Says Chris, 39-year-old from Alabama, says, why would wife of 16 years ask me why I filed divorce when she has left and refuses me at all attempts to reach out, so I walk away? Well, I have a video uploaded just recently, says why you want to know why your ex left you. Why you want to know why your ex left you. So it's about the why. I suggest you watch that video. It's an elaborate, it's about, I don't know, 26 minutes or so, or maybe less, I don't know. It talks about the role of mind and thought in that, which is a little bit deeper than what I can attempt right now. And anyhow, I don't know what the laws are there. Perhaps she doesn't want divorce, so she can still be entitled to, I don't know, whatever it is that you guys have. And so you did fine, I guess. And Excalibur says, perhaps a helpful piece of info to add, Mehran, when the asker says nobody compares to him, when the hurt pain is still fresh, of course nobody will compare to him, her. It's part of it. Okay, I'll put it up for people to read it because I couldn't get it maybe. Gavin says, Sue, tell your friend to watch playlist on Mehran channel. It helped me a lot. Thank you for the plug, Gavin. Excalibur says, my YouTube notifications still don't work. Lol. What is your current schedule? So I just added to my PC calendar. Usually I aim to, that was, I'll get reminded for sure. Well, usually I aim for 12 o'clock on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. It could be 11, but like today, it happened to be 1. So between 11 and 1, I should be on. But usually I try to make it 11, but sometimes 12. But today it was an anomaly. It turned out to be 1. Let's say 11 and between 11 and 12, I'm usually on, and I go on for at least an hour. Excalibur says, AL is Alabama. Lol. Yes, I got that late. Brenda Kuke says, I found you. Yes. Hello, Brenda. And Excalibur says, I guess in other words, is with time, many others will not only compare to him. Okay. And yes, Excalibur, 11 or 12 Vancouver times, all Vancouver time. Because I don't know where the heck you guys are. It could be what? Spain? United States? Eastern? Western? UK? Where? So always Vancouver time. All right. Looks like I've hit all the questions, guys. There are no more questions left. And Floyd never got back to us. I think he just left. Don. I missed Don here. It says, here's a freshly made cup of tea for you. Oh, thank you, darling. And thank you for the heart. And to you. Still cold. I thought you said it was hot. All right. Excalibur says, you're not old yet, lol. All the political candidates down in America are the real old timers, 75 years old and so on. Well, guys, if there are no questions, I guess it's time for me to... Don says, oh, I've got a few others here. Don says, I need to go to bed now. Night, night, everyone. Good night, Don. Have a wonderful evening, and we'll hopefully talk to you next time. And Daniel Siha says, just wanted to say hi. Hello, Daniel. And Gavin says, Mehran, once you have workshops in person, it's where I'm finding my next GF. Okay, so you're coming for a hunt. And Murray says, have a good day. Have a good day to you too, Murray. I appreciate that. Emmanuel says, Mail 27 Boston. Emmanuel, you're coming right at the beginning of the end. I have a question. Wait. Okay, I will wait. Next night, Dawn. Okay, that's Excalibur saying. So Emmanuel says hello, Mehran, and he's gone shopping. Says, Mehran, since you had a Japanese girlfriend, can you please tell me a little about the way they are as a love partner? Are you kidding me? People are different. Every individual is different. Just because somebody is American or Canadian or French or German or Japanese or Chinese doesn't mean that you have a knowledge in everyone who is German or Chinese or French or Japanese or whatever. Is not a question I can even attempt to answer, even if I wanted to, which I wouldn't. I wouldn't be talking about my ex-girlfriend in college with anyone, because that is a private matter. As a respect to her, that has to do with she shared that interaction of consciousness bonding and compatibility and so on with me, and I'm supposed to be a gentleman to guard that, not to be talking about the generality or specific opinion to someone else. And this is, I say that to you because this is how I want you to be with people about your ex-girlfriends. You don't talk about women that you were in a relationship with other people. It's just not the way to do. As a respect to that person. I don't care if you guys had a good time or didn't have a good time, if you were good together or not. It's just not the way to do it. So, that's your answer. Emmanuel. Daniel says, hope it made you guys laugh. What, Daniel? It was nice. You just said hello. Oh, here it is. Oh, there's some things I missed here. Daniel says, why does the koala not belong to the bears? Why does koala not belong to the bears? I didn't know koala belonged to the bears. You mean bear families? Okay. Don says, thank you. P.S. Floyd did give you his detail, Mehran. Night exclamation. Oh, did he? Let me go to Floyd. Where is Floyd? Where is Floyd? Floyd. Let me answer Floyd. Oh, yes. My bad. Floyd, I apologize for not having noticed the first liner. Floyd says, I'm 47. She's 44. She travels. He travels. They meet at his place. Who are they? You're talking about yourself? Oh, I see. Let me read the whole thing again. I guess I gotta read that. Says, Floyd says, my wife of 25 years had a 2-year sexual. Oh, I didn't even read this. Holy macaroni, there were so many I missed here. Okay, let me attend to it properly. Okay. Floyd says, greetings again. What is an acceptable amount of information to know the cheating spouse is past the affair? Cheater phones, emails, etc. What should closure look like to attempt reconciliation? All right. And then Floyd continues, says, after my comment, I think this came out, says, my wife, 25 years, had a 2-year sexual affair. Oh, are you kidding me? So I guess you just found out? And she's 44. She started at age 42. And you're 49. Oh, it's totally unacceptable. She thought she's getting old and she's going to miss out. And missing out means go have sex with some other people so you won't feel miss out. Is that it? The sex with somebody else would make you fulfilled that, like, oh, I've accomplished something when you're in a committed relationship? Maybe you think you have, but you lost the one that you really worked hard for all those years. So you sacrificed all your energy and what you've created for something that for 2 years, where the first relationship's 2 years was, if you compare them with the same thing, it was much better than this 2 years that you stayed with this guy while you were married. And Floyd says we have separated. Okay. Now Floyd says I'm 47, she's 44. She travels and the guy travels. They meet at his place. Ah, I see. Well, terrible. Floyd says 3 children, youngest is 10. Floyd says I battle the visual images of them having sex. I see. Because you still find her qualified. All right. This needs a careful discussion, Floyd. I can help you with that. But this is not the place. This needs a little bit elaboration in a private setting. Perhaps if you like to go on my site, mind@6truth.com, make an appointment on Skype consultation. Get a 1 hour and I'll give you another hour. So it'll be 2 hours. We'll have plenty of time to discuss it and explore it together. Three children, youngest 10. Yeah, well, you cannot get over it while you still think she's qualified. You must come to understanding that what are your principles and what are the deal breakers. Once that principle is crossed to the point that is not acceptable to you anymore, you must make a decision that this woman, this relationship, is no longer qualified. Once you make that decision, then you should proceed to say, I really actually don't give a shit what she does or what she doesn't. And stop imagining it. Or have a cup of tea, sit down and imagine to the hilt. Go as far as it goes. Whatever possibility you want to imagine it. And imagine it again and again. To the point that is not a novelty anymore and it doesn't scare you anymore. You've seen it all. You've imagined him do everything and whatever it is that you didn't want him to do. Once you do all that, then you will have a clear picture of how you feel about her, who has created this division with her betrayal. Then you will have a different image of her, because right now you're hurting because you're keeping the old image of her in your mind, how she used to be, who she was. The woman who's been having an affair with this guy for 2 years and done whatever it is that you fret imagining it, is not the same woman that was your wife. Is not. That is not. You do not imagine that lovely, innocent girl or committed girl, that lovely, faithful girl that you guys were together for so many years. That's not the one who's sleeping and mucking around with this guy. That one is yours. That is not changed no matter what you imagine. What you're imagining is not her. She's not doing anything. The one that is doing stuff is the one that is not your wife. Is the one that is no longer the same girl that you used to be with and love, and she loved you and you were together. That's not her. That girl, that experience is yours, untouched, and she's not done anything. So your experience with your wife is perfectly fine. The one who has been doing what he's been doing is not that girl that you used to know at your younger ages. It's a different woman, because we change where our mentalities, compatibilities change. She's grown differently. Just like when you grow from age 20 to 30, you're a different person. The same thing. In this juncture of her life, she's not that same girl. Therefore, you don't have to worry about what you imagine. What you imagine is imagining a girl who's not your wife, a girl who's not the girl that you used to be married for many years and been together and have 3 kids. It's a girl who is not qualified to be your wife and is not your wife, is a changed woman, is a different character of a woman, and that character has nothing to do with the character of the woman that you loved. So you're bothered because you think the one that you loved is doing all these things. No, 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 no. That woman is intact, is in your memory, and lives forever. The one who's doing these sort of things is the one that's got nothing to do with you, and you are not finding her qualified, and you have divorced her or left her, and good for you. So don't be afraid of all those imaginations. Those imaginations are not about the girl that you used to be married to, or about this woman who's no longer representing the girl that used to be married to. At least at this point, I think it's something that could put you on the right track. And if you wish to have a chat with me on the Skype, we can pick it up from there, Floyd. And thank you for, and sorry for the delay that I didn't get back to you, because I thought that you have left. Because anyhow, yeah, good, okay, good, Floyd, good. Excalibur says, I'm delighted to see you, by the way, Mehran. It's good to, after a long sabbatical. Yeah, I guess that's sure, for sure. And back to Daniel. Daniel says, why does the koala not belong to the bears? He's not qualified. Okay. Qualified. Okay, got it. Excalibur says, and before you go, here's a quick dad joke. Lol. Okay. Brenda says, yes, Floyd did give. Okay, yes, yes, yes. Got it, guys. Thank you very much for that. Yeah, Daniel, that was funny actually. And Excalibur says, how do you make holy water? You boil the hell out of it. Okay, got it. Gavin says, Mehran, we have beautiful Japanese woman here in Tennessee. She's around your age. Have her subscribe. Excalibur says, Daniel, it was funny. Yes, it was. And Floyd says, thank you, Mehran. I will contact you. Yes, Floyd, for sure. And by the way, Floyd, you'll be okay. I guarantee you that. We'll talk about it maybe. Majid says, Mehran, do you believe that we feel when something is thinking, someone is thinking about us? Well, you know, it's possible. I did have I don't know how many of you are still here. Maybe I'll discuss this some other time. Are you guys here? Just say yes if you're still here, and say no if you're gone. Okay, Excalibur is here. Anybody else here? There are 12 of us here. Floyd? Excalibur says no, all right? D, all right. Okay, so I tell you this story then. So Majid just asked, Mehran, do you believe that we can feel when someone is thinking about us? uh, yes and no. No, if there is no. Sometimes, in a way, yes. Sometimes you think about someone and then suddenly he or she calls, or you see them, or somehow, it's like you sense. But there is a direct answer I can give you when there is a specific arrangement that you can actually feel each other. Because as we talked before, we are made out of mind and body, and the mind is capable and able to feel and flow in the energy of the universe that it is coming from. So it's connected to the flow of the energy from one end of the universe to the other end of the universe, and it's aware of it, and it's part of it, and it is of it. Therefore, everything that is made out of energy, which is everything, has a way to connect. Now, if we can be able to connect directly to a certain point of it, which would be the point that that person that we want her to think of us, or we think of her, or feel each other's presence or each other's thinking. This is my personal experience. As some of you know, I had a girlfriend in university, and we were quite fond of each other, and she was from Japan. And when she left the school earlier than me, and then she was in Japan, I was in the States, still continue my school, and of course we were constantly in touch. So one day, through letters, we decided I wanted to do an experiment, because in my training of Aikido, we had learned to extend ki. To make the long story short, describing ki is like if you watch Star Wars movies, and that force with their mind power is what we try to learn and develop, and learn how to manipulate it or learn it and use it for different aspects of life, such as studying, focusing, sports, or other things to strengthen the mind, and so on and so forth. So we were, in my Aikido classes, we were focusing on learning ki and the questions and the abilities, that how far we can extend that and to what limit. So I decided with my girlfriend that while she's in Japan and I was in States, we arranged a certain time, exact time, that would be the same moment in time, both in States and in Japan. We would expect to both sit down somewhere quiet and perhaps imagine or put a picture of each one of us in front of ourselves, and focus thoroughly on the image of the other one in our mind, or on that picture, which is supposedly to make it easier to imagine. And then we arranged at that certain time, we will be focusing on each other. That means I propose that I will send energy to her, and I want to know if she could feel it, and to make a note, and then let me know in our discussion later in the letter, and tell me how it was it successful. And of course I did meditation beforehand, before that time arrived, and I was fully feeling the power of that energy, totally in harmony with the nature, as much as my training and ability at that time was. And then I proceeded to focus on her, which turned out, she said, definitely she could feel my energy all around her. And that was an amazing discovery for me, which was firsthand making us be aware that these energy that we have, we can extend it to anywhere, to anyone, and affect their lives positively, make them feel better, make them feel that they're not alone, we are with them. And that was a great experiment for me. So when you say that, then my answer in this controlled way is a definite yes, a personal experience. And so I hope that answers your question to a point. And Majid says, strange things happens to me last week. Thank you, Brenda. Brenda's talking to Floyd. Majid says, suddenly started missing my ex from 5 years ago and totally forgot what happened. Guys, don't forget to click on like if you haven't and subscribe if you haven't. Now, getting back to the main event. Suddenly started missing my ex, Majid says, from 5 years ago and totally forgot what happened and how I was over her. Would it be spiritual or I don't quite get it. The fact that 5 years ago you got over the breakup, it just simply tells you that you can get over any breakup anytime, because if it happened before, that means it exactly will happen again. So it's not like when you guys break up and it's the first time you break up and you haven't had an experience to know that it'll definitely go away and you will move on. You may not notice that this is your part of the nature, part of your capability, that you will go on. But if you've had the experience before and it has happened once before, and you do know that you did move on and you didn't care about that relationship anymore after a while, then if it happens again with another relationship, you can be damn sure that it will be the same. Because you're the same person, the same personality, and the same way of thinking, and the same flow of energy, and the same time, effect of time on things. And so that should give you the assurance of, regardless of how devastated you might feel, you rely on the past experiences, the fact that these sort of things will move on, will dissipate. Well, because it did already at one instance, the previous relationship, then it will also do it again, and it will all be okay as well, regardless of how bad it seems at the time. So on that note, that means you'll definitely won't have to worry about this one won't be dissipating or going away. This will too, the same as the other one. And so now, Excelver says, that's a very interesting story so far. Excelver says, wow, were you ever able to replicate that, Mehran, with someone else? Stronger. I got stronger and stronger. So, but we didn't necessarily put it to the test anymore, but I did help many people with their pain, headaches, migraines, this and that, so forth. So I know I kept getting stronger the more I practiced. So that's all I can say about that. Majid says, basically, why did I think of her suddenly? Naturally, we human beings have mechanisms that is not necessarily voluntarily, but when the body and the mind feels there's a necessity for survival and is looking for answers, because the job of the mind is look for answers, to keep you protected and safe. Therefore, it looks for answers. And sometimes you're not voluntarily, actually searching for answers, but it's doing the searching behind the scene till it finds the actual trigger point or actual information and brings it to your attention. The same thing like you're working on your computer and in the background certain programs are running. You're not aware of it, but it's seeking and searching. And the mind does the same thing. And it knows that you need that information. It knows that you need that encouragement. It knows that you need that information to catapult you away and give you the certainty that you'll be fine, and to continue on your path and keep you balanced and confident. It searches for you, and when it finds it, brings it to your attention one way or another, which seems to be, suddenly, it was a act of God or act of spiritual experience. And some of them are, but some of them are just in this fashion, that you have your brain doing the work for you and doing its job as it's designed to do. And Gavin says, Mehran, you ever miss your ex? No. I think of the experience and think positively and enjoy the memories of it, but never to any negative point or any sadness or any, not at all. Not at all, but it's a positive experience, and I think about many relationships that I may have had if they come to my mind, and I enjoy it. So, that's how. So, that's how. It's like thinking about the horseback riding that I had. That horse, we went to that competition, or we did this, or with that movie that I saw. These are memories. So memories doesn't have to necessarily be, bringing you down or whatever. It's just you simply enjoy the memories. And yeah, of course, I do think of her whenever it's called for. It's something that reminds me of her or triggers, and that's wonderful, and nothing more than that. It's like any other memory that you have that comes to your mind and you recognize it, say, okay, that memory, but doesn't make you feel like, I wish she was here or this and that. No, not at all. It's part of life. Memory is good. You don't have to think that every time that you think of something, that means you want it to be in close proximity. So, let's go to you should focus on the fact that you wouldn't miss people, because all of these people and experiences part of your life. So you could be thinking about a certain stage of your life or certain happenings or experiences, but these are a part of your life. So you're actually thinking about your life, your experiences, not focusing on the actor in that experience. Focus on the experience, and then you'll be thinking of all these memories in the same value, rather than thinking, because you think about a past relationship, then you miss that person. No, it's just relationships, experiences, traveling somewhere, all these are memories, and it comes to your mind, and it's all good, nothing wrong with it. And Majid says, Excalibur says, damn, that's really interesting. Hope to hear more about it in the next stream, which is tomorrow. Yeah. And Majid says, 5 years on, I've already had 2 girlfriends after that, but I guess it means I'm still scared or not over that relationship 5 years ago. Listen, do not be scared of the relationships not having gone away in your mind. So what? What are you scared of? What happens? I won't have her. So what? What do you gain if you have her, actually? No. Can you please tell me that? What do you gain if you have her? The one they say, I don't have her. 2 years ago, I broke up with someone. I don't have her. No. So what? Let's go the other way around. So you have her. So what happened to your life? You still got to pay the rent. You still got to educate yourself. You still got to accomplish stuff that you want to accomplish. You still got to go through the journey. You still got to figure out things. Still got to build your life. So that's just a pleasure part that you're thinking about. What else is it going to add to your life? Nothing. You just fulfilled yourself that, I'm valuable because somebody pays attention to me. Well, find somebody else. The attention is always welcomed from all the people that qualify and you desire their attention. So there's so many of those kind of wonderful women out there. So it doesn't have to be that particular one. David says, hello, Mehran, 24 Dallas. David, what the hell? You're coming right at the end of it, aren't you? Excalibur says, oh my goodness, It's the Japanese Emperor David. I didn't know. David is Hirohito. So, so, okay, guys, it's time for me to go. It's 1 hour over the allotted time that I was hoping to have. David says, I was actually thinking about you the other day, Excalibur. Okay, you guys chat it up. All right, guys, thank you very much for being here. I love you all, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to share a thing or two with you, and I look forward to talk to you again, hopefully tomorrow, if not tonight. In the meantime, be good to yourself, to the others, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.